Today we take the time to thoroughly explain the rules of Padel, a sport that has captivated many with its unique blend of tennis and squash elements. The primary goal of the game is straightforward. Either you or your team must win sets more quickly than your opponents. Padel, which is often referred to as paddle tennis in English-speaking regions, is a fascinating variation of traditional tennis. It has gained immense popularity, particularly in Spain, Mexico, and various Latin American countries, where it has become a beloved pastime. The game can be played in two formats: as singles, where one player competes against another, or more commonly in doubles, where two players team up against another pair. To the casual observer, Padel may appear strikingly similar to tennis at first glance. However, a closer inspection reveals several key differences that set it apart from its more well-known counterpart. Firstly, the dimensions of the paddle court are notably smaller, measuring approximately 20 meters in length and 10 meters in width, which is about 25% less than a standard tennis court. The net that divides the court stands at 88 centimeters high at its center, creating a unique playing environment. Secondly, the entire court is surrounded by a 3-meter-high perspex wall, which rises to 4 meters at the ends. This wall is a defining feature of Padel, allowing for exciting rallies and strategic plays that are not possible in traditional tennis. Additionally, players use solid stringless rackets known as paddles instead of conventional tennis rackets, and the ball used in Padel is slightly different as well, further distinguishing the game. The Padel match begins with one player serving the ball. To execute a legal serve, the player must stand behind the designated line, bounce the ball within the service box, and then strike the ball below waist height, sending it diagonally into the opponent's service area. The receiving player is permitted a maximum of one bounce to return the ball over the net and back onto the court. The essence of the game lies in successfully hitting the ball onto your opponent's half of the court while preventing them from returning it. If you manage to make the ball bounce twice on your opponent's side or they fail to play it back, you score a point. Scoring in Padel follows a unique progression. Earning 1 point translates to 15, 2 points to 30, 3 points to 40. And finally, if you score 4 points while maintaining a 2-point lead, you win the game. Once a game is concluded, the other player or team takes their turn to serve from the opposite side, initiating the next game. To win a set, a player must win 6 games while being at least 2 games ahead of their opponent. Ultimately, winning 2 or 3 sets faster than your adversary secures victory in the match, mirroring the scoring system of traditional tennis. The term deuce comes into play when the score is tied at 40-40, indicating that a player must win 2 consecutive points to claim the game. If a player manages to score during deuce, they gain an advantage, meaning they only need 1 more point to win the game. Unless, of course, their opponent scores again, which would send the game back to deuce. To maintain fairness on the court, players change sides after the first game, the third game, and every odd-numbered game played. In the event that the sets are tied at 6-6, a tiebreaker is employed to determine the winner of the set. Players alternate serving, with the objective of being the first to score 7 points in the tiebreaker. While the scoring system may initially seem a bit intricate, once you engage with Padel, whether through playing or watching, the rules and nuances will quickly become clear. If you found this explanation helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to support my efforts in creating these videos. It takes considerable time and effort to produce this content, and your feedback is greatly appreciated. In the meantime, enjoy the thrilling world of Padel.